Okay, sorry, cyan and then blue down here. So if you want to edit a particular picture, I'm not going to give you a particular value here to use as a default value, because picture varies and the kind of settings you use on a picture varies as well. But this is how to set a black and white and adjustment layer on a particular layer. And like I said, I prefer using the adjustment layer because if you in turn decide not to use it, you can as well delete it by just selecting and pressing your delete key on your keyboard. Now let's take a look at the vibrance. Now the vibrance looks much like the hue and saturation, just that here you can decide to saturate a color and then try to make it look black and white. Now you're not going to get a complete black and white until you reduce the saturation of the picture. Now the saturation is trying to kind of add more red to the color. Okay, you add more red to the color until it becomes oversaturated with red. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. The hue and saturation in turn is similar to the vibrance. Let's quickly look at that. Now this is the hue and saturation. You can decide to increase the brightness or the contrast from the very third slider, and you can decide to change the saturation to make it look less saturated. And the hue here have different colors ranging from yellow, from red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, pink and red. So depending on the color you want, you use the slider to kind of add hue to your image. I believe you are seeing some little effects, and you can decide to try on one or two images in your system as well. Now there's one very important thing I want to show us, and which is on the properties bar here. You see mask on the top. Now if you click on mask, it allows you to mask out to set the density of the mask and to feather the mask. Okay, now what am I trying to say in essence? Now you can decide to add, erase some part that you don't want this particular adjustment layer to touch using your brush tool. Okay, now I'm going to change that to black by pressing X so that our foreground will change to our background to our foreground. I'll minimize that layer, and let me quickly increase the brush size so that I will show you what I'm talking about. So here we have a lot of pink. Is that pink? Yeah, so I'm just going to erase that, and you discover that that area completely erases, and we have a nice looking though not nice looking, but at least the adjustment layer has been erased from that area. So when you add a mask to an adjustment layer, that is what you get. Now you can decide to reduce the opacity of the brush size that you're using to paint, so that as you brush around the image, you get a nice looking output, okay, instead of a very thick pink surrounding the image. Okay, so that is how to add adjustment layer, and you can do the same thing from the image menu, clicking on adjustment. But the difference is that here you don't get an adjustment layer. Anything you do is taking effect directly on the image, and it cannot be undone unless you use the history panel and go back some steps and undo it, but it does not create any special layer for you. Okay, so try one of these, try all what we've done, try to make one or two changes to an image of yours and see the result that you get. I will talk to you in the next video.